Donald Trump has just announced that all goods entering the US from the UK will be charged a 10% tariff, later increasing to 25% unless a deal is struck for America to buy Greenland. Greenland is a territory of Denmark, and it and several other European countries are included in the punitive import tax, which Mr. Trump says will begin next month. The UK is among European nations who've sent military personnel to Greenland since the White House began demanding it be handed over. And today, in the capitals of both Greenland and Denmark, there were large demonstrations calling on the American president to keep his hands off the island. Here's our political correspondent, Shihab Khan.
European troops have been deploying to Greenland on what's being described as a reconnaissance mission, but is in reality a clear show of strength. But as those forces arrive, Donald Trump has doubled down on his controversial claim over the semi-autonomous territory of Denmark. In the last hour, the US president has gone further, announcing a 10% tariff on countries, including the UK, that he says has shown support for Greenland. Posting on Truth Social, he said, "We have subsidised Denmark and all of the countries of the European Union and others for many years. Now, after centuries, it is time for Denmark to give back. This is a very dangerous situation for the safety, security and survival of our planet." The UK and other European allies, including France and Germany, have been named. The tariff, currently at 10%, is due to rise to 25% from June the 1st. President Trump says the measures will stay in place until he has full control of Greenland, but he insists he's open to negotiations. While the move has shocked many, it is something that only yesterday he was warning he would do.
I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security, so I may do that.
In Denmark, protests continued with a clear message to President Trump: hands off Greenland. Demonstrators have been backed not only by European governments, including the UK, who have repeatedly said Greenland's future must be decided by its own, but today also by a visiting delegation from the US Congress.
I hope that the people of the Kingdom of Denmark do not abandon their faith in the American people, in our fundamental goodness, in our respect for Denmark and for NATO and for all we've done together.
It is the latest twist in an increasingly unpredictable presidency, one in which long-standing allies are once again being treated much like adversaries.
Well, Shihab, this is a major escalation from the president if he follows through with this threat.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing we know about Donald Trump is he's very unpredictable. We know that there's now going to be a lot of diplomatic pressure because those countries that he's listed, that he's slapped that tariff on, are all allies. And we know that when he does things like that, there'll be phone calls that take place. There may be trips to Washington, and work will then continue to try and get those tariffs taken off, because it will be very detrimental to economies around Europe, whether it's the UK, France, Germany, Finland, the Netherlands. There's a number of countries that have been involved. It won't surprise anyone that Donald Trump might change his mind. We've seen that happen many times before. He'll announce something and then change his mind. We don't know how this is going to play out. At the moment, all we've had is this post on Truth Social. We'll have to wait and see, but the diplomatic pressure will now mount.